And I already have that water. Okay. All right, fabulous. So, starting off as usual, for the last couple of, I guess, like I said, months at this point, with that scan of the body first and foremost. So, starting from the top of the head and moving to the tips of the toes. As you take that scan of the body, just noticing how you're feeling this evening, noticing what's going on in the body, where you're at, where those points of tension are, or those spaces that are a little bit sore or tired are, and then also those places that feel particularly good as we get going. As you finish that scan of the body, starting off with any of those initial ranges of motion or stretches that are going to feel particularly good to get you started this evening. So, like I said, maybe it's that seated spinal twist, lateral stretch roll of the head and the neck. Maybe it's a forward fold. Maybe you're really feeling that child's pose to Cobra or something else like that. And as usual, maybe there's something that really floats your boat this evening that I don't usually mention or haven't mentioned. And we'll take about 6 to 8 nice deep breaths there and any of those initial ranges of motion, initial stretches, just to get you started on the right foot for you. So a couple nice deep breaths there. Fabulous. About 4 more nice deep breaths, nice and easy. And last 2 nice deep breaths. As you finish those out, we are going to start at hands and knees. So starting to make your transition towards that hands and knees position. When you get there, we will start just briefly with a cat and cow. So you can start there for the next 2 nice deep breaths if you're already there, or finish making your transition on over to hands and knees. All right, so going right into that cat and cow from there, that inhale presses the belly towards the floor, lifts the hips and the chin if it feels good. Exhale, rounds the spine up towards the ceiling, tucks those hips underneath and that chin underneath. We'll just take 3 more nice deep breaths, just like that. Nice and easy, just getting the spine moving there. As you're here, making sure that you've got pressure through all 10 fingers. So we're not just putting the pressure into the wrists. 1 more breath here. Big inhale, belly towards the floor, lifting up. Exhale, rounding the spine up towards the ceiling, tucking the chin, and then just bringing that spine back to that nice neutral position. So nice long spine, not letting that lower back come towards the floor. We're going to go into those kind of hip circles. It'll be a little bit of a wrist warm up as well. We did do these briefly on Monday if you were here for that class. We're just going to start by pressing slightly forward over the front. So those hips kind of come forward. And we're using that a little bit of pressure on those wrists to just find that easy range of motion. So no pain there. And then just choose the direction to go first. Bring it around to the side, bring those hips around, and then in that child's pose position, hips back. Those shoulders to keep you nice and steady, keeping those shoulder blades pulled apart. 1 more nice big circle in this first direction. And then when you finish that big circle and you get back to those kind of shoulders over fingertips, then just go ahead and change directions. Same thing other way. So just bring it around in that opposite direction, nice and controlled. That warm up for the wrists, for the hips, maybe a little bit for the knees and the shoulders. A couple more circles in that second direction. Nice. Go ahead and give me 1 more nice big circle in that second direction. When you finish that up, just bringing it to, again, that shoulders over fingertips position. For just a little bit of deeper stretch through those wrists. And then you can sink it back just nice and easy to that child's pose. From there, we'll go into our child's pose to Cobra, just a nice, easy flow. So those hips come back, and then we're pressing it forward, knees underneath, hips down towards the floor. As always, that Cobra can be Cobra or baby Cobra, and then just moving at your own pace, that front to back, little stretch through the shoulders, through the chest, and then through that torso, that upper body in our Cobra. A couple times each direction here. Awesome. Go ahead one more time in each direction, and then we'll go ahead and meet back in that child's pose one more time. So that last time each way, back into that Cobra, and then press back to that child's pose. All righty. So since we didn't do our seated spinal twist, we are going to do spinal twists from hands and knees. So let's take it up to that hands and knees position. We are going to start with one cow and one cat. And then we'll do a spinal twist. It'll be 3 points. So it'll be a lift, lower, lift. So we're going to do that cow position, belly towards the floor, hips and chin lift. Our exhale rounds the spine up towards the ceiling into our cat position. And then we bring the spine back to neutral. Then choose your first arm. Either is fabulous. You've got that lift up towards the ceiling, that lower down and through. You can almost place the shoulder down, or you can all the way place the shoulder down. You can find a little hold if that feels good. And then that final lift brings us back towards the ceiling. From there, we set that first hand down. We've got another cat cow, one time each direction. So our inhale, our exhale. And then same thing on that other side. So that second side, that lift, lower lift. So keep going here, just like that. One cat, one cow, and then our lift, lower lift a couple times here. Just alternating sides, finding your own pace. If you like a little bit more of a hold in that spinal twist, feel free to find it. If you prefer to keep it moving a little faster, you can find that spinal twist a little bit faster. And making sure you're breathing throughout this as well. Fabulous. We're going to do one more time on each side from wherever you are. That first side, when you get back to it, we're going to find a little hold in that spinal twist. So we've still got that cow and then that cat. We've got that lift. And then when we hit that lower, that's where we're going to find our hold. So shoulder down towards the mat. We're in that hold on that first side. Same as always with this spinal twist. You can take that arm out a little bit longer, or you can find that half bind, that full twist by taking that opposite side fingertips up towards the ceiling, facing the palm around behind the back, and then bending that elbow. So just brief hold here, 2 nice deep breaths. Big inhale and exhale. One more nice deep breath, big inhale and exhale. On that exhale, if you found that half bind, go ahead and release it, take that arm back out. And then that next inhale takes us to that final lift of that first arm. So up towards the ceiling and then back to our hands and knees. Same thing on that other side. So we've got that cow, and then that cat. Bring that spine back to neutral. We've got that lift, and then that hold in our lower. Same thing when you get there, you can keep it right here. You can take that arm out long, or you can find that half bind. Fingertips up, palm face behind, elbow bends to bring the hand around behind the back. Little hold here. 2 nice deep breaths. Nice. On that second exhale, once again, just releasing that half bind if you found it. Finding our final lift with that second arm, and then setting it back down to hands and knees. All right, finally, we're going to do a little bit of a lower body warm up. So we're going to take it nice and easy into our first downward facing dog. So go ahead and curl those toes under, press those hips up and back. From there, we'll take a couple breaths, so you can choose to pedal out those heels if that feels good. You can choose to alternate pressing up onto those toes and then pressing both heels down. Or if it feels good, as always, for that first inversion, you can keep the head a little bit lifted or shake the head nice and slow in that yes or no range of motion. Or if something else sounds like it'll feel good, feel free to take it 2 more breaths just in this downward facing dog. All right, awesome. Here comes a little bit more lower body. We're going to do our low lunge to hamstring stretch, and then we'll take it to our pigeon. So I'm going to start with my right leg. First and foremost, 3-legged dog. Just press it up. And then nice and slow, we're going to bring it to our low lunge. So bend the left knee, sweep the right leg forward, ankle underneath knee, send that left knee to the ground, top of that left foot. We're going to go twice in each direction. Our exhale presses us into that low lunge. As always, if that higher low lunge works better, you can find it. And then we're going to press those hips back, find that hamstring stretch. Nice deep stretch, that hinge forward at those hips, toes come up off of the mat. We'll go one more time in each direction, a little slower this time for a little bit more of a hold. Again, you can always walk those fingertips to the inside and bring it down, or you can have that tall torso, hips turned underneath and pressing it forward for that hip flexor stretch. One more nice deep breath in this lunge. Nice, and then back to that hamstring stretch. Hips press back, we hinge forward, lift those toes, fingertips down towards the mat if for a little more balance, or towards the toes for a little more stretch. One more nice deep breath here. Fabulous. We're just going to take it nice and easy back towards that lunge to plant that front foot. I'm going to go through my three-legged dog to my half pigeon. So planting those hands, curl the left toe under, lift the knee. Right foot's going to go up and back, and then I'm going to sweep it directly back underneath to that half pigeon. Shin meets the mat under those hips. Top of that foot meets the mat. You can find an inhale to that long torso, and then you can settle into it. We've got 3 nice deep breaths in this half pigeon on this side. Excellent. With your next inhale, go ahead and bring it back up to those palms if you lowered down. We're going to do one more time through that three-legged dog just to plant that right down next to the left and switch sides. So we're going to curl the left toes under, lift the knee. As we send those hips up, we then also send that right foot up and back and then place it down next to the left. Same thing other side. Left leg is going to find our three-legged dog this time. Nice and easy. We bend that right knee, sweep that left leg underneath. Make sure the ankle is underneath the knee. Send that right knee, top of that right foot down. Our exhale presses us either into that low lunge or that kind of low lunge with the tall torso, the hips turned under and pressing forward for that hip flexor stretch. Fabulous. And then we've got our hamstrings, sending those hips back, lengthening that front leg, lifting those front toes, hinge forward at the hips. Nice. One more time each direction, pressing it forward for your low lunge of choice. 2 more breaths here. Awesome. Go ahead and send those hips back on your next inhale. Lengthen that front leg, lift those toes, hinge forward at the hips. One more nice deep breath here. Fabulous. Just release out of that. Again, we've got our three-legged dog to our half pigeon. So planting those hands, curl the right toe under, lift the knee. Left leg is going to just briefly get sent up and back, and then we sweep it underneath. Shin meets the mat underneath those hips. Top of that right foot meets this time. You can find that tall torso and then sink into it. Couple nice deep breaths here. Awesome. On that next inhale, go ahead and bring it up to those palms. Then I want you to send that left hip down and just circle that right leg around nice and easy, just to a comfortable seat for just a moment. We've got a little bit of work on those wrists from that plank position, from that down facing dog position. We've got our bear. So just want to give us a time for those wrist circles or that press up and press down, whichever one's going to serve you better, or a little bit of both. So nice big circles in both directions, or fingertips up and then down and through, or both. And I'll let you know when we're at about halfway. Make sure you switch directions if you're doing those circles. And then we've got about 2 more nice deep breaths left. So if you want to find that stretch, that fingertip pull up and then back down for a breath, and then up and back down for a breath. All right, fabulous. We're going to take it on over to hands and knees to get started, get our core heavy, a little bit of area of focus here tonight in. So bringing it back over to that hands and knees position, feel free to grab a sip of your beverage on your way over if that suits you this evening. Alrighty, so we've got a little flow in this core movement here. We've got a couple of reps of a couple of things. We're gonna start off with one cat and one cow once again. Starting with our cow. So our inhale presses the belly towards the floor, lifts the hips and the chin if it feels good. That exhale rounds the spine up towards the ceiling, tucks the chin in towards the chest and those hips underneath. And then go ahead and bring that spine back to that nice neutral position. From there, we're going to curl those toes under and lift it up into our bear pose, where we're going to find just kind of a 1-2 count. So we're here for 1 and 2. Let's step it back to our plank in our 1 and our 2. Again, we've got that 1-2 count hold. We've got 1 and 2. Fabulous. 2 push-ups with 4 mountain climbers in between. So first push-up, toes or knees. Bringing it down through your range of motion, all the way down, back up. When you get there, we've got 4 mountain climbers nice and controlled. So 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to do that one more time. Toes or knees, that full range of motion push-up. Exhale on the way up, and then 4 mountain climbers. 4, 3, 2, 1. When you finish that off, press those hips up and back, downward facing dog. Awesome. Out to plank one more time. One more time to that down dog. And then we're going to send it back down to hands and knees. So sending those knees down right underneath those hips. We've got our cat and cow. Inhale, belly towards the floor, hips lift, chin lifts if it feels good. Exhale, rounds the spine up towards the ceiling. Bring it back to neutral, curl those toes under, lift those knees for that bear pose. Here we are for that 1 and 2, step it back for that plank. Again, we're here for that 1 and 2, and then we've got those 2 push-ups and mountain climbers that sequence. So first push-up, and then 4 mountain climbers. Second push-up, and if you're a little bit off on timing, moving a little faster or slower, that's okay. Just keep moving in those sequences. When you finish those last 4 mountain climbers, go ahead and press up to that down dog. Keep that core engaged there on that press up. Back out to plank. Nice. One more time back to that downward facing dog. A little stretch of the chest, a little release of those wrists if that feels a little better, and then go ahead and float those knees down. All right, if those wrists need a little break, feel free to take it. Give them a little roll, give them a little shake. And then we're going to do it twice more through. So same thing, one more time. We just did it twice through. We're going to do it once again, twice through. So take your time, give your wrists a roll, give your shoulders a roll. Nice. Here we go. Back to that hands and knees. Here we go. 1 cat and cow, or cow and cat. When you finish both directions, bring that spine back to neutral. Curl those toes under, lift those knees. We're here for that nice long 2 count. 1 and 2, step it back to our plank. Again, we've got that hold for that 1 and 2. Here we go on that push-up sequence, a push-up and 4 mountain climbers. Toes or knees, as always, we want that full range of motion. Same thing, second time. That push-up and those 4 mountain climbers. When you finish that, hold that plank for just a second. And press those hips up and back, downward facing dog. One more time out to that plank. Nice hold there, nice and steady. And that downward facing dog, fabulous. Nice job, you guys. One more time through, send those knees down to the mat. 1 cow and 1 cat. Belly towards the floor, hips and chin lift. Spine rounds up, tuck that chin in towards the chest. Bring it back to that nice neutral long spine. Curl those toes under, lift up into that bear pose, Excellent, excellent. Step it back to our plank. Take it back nice and long. Nice, here we go with that push-up sequence. 2 more times through, this is it on this one here. Push up and 4 mountain climbers. Same thing that second time, that push-up and those 4 mountain climbers. Little hold on that plank after you finish those second 4. And press those hips up and back, downward facing dog. Excellent work. Out to that plank. One more time, down dog. And go ahead, send those knees down to the mat. Fabulous. You can sink back towards those heels. You can find a child's pose. You can sink it back and give your shoulders a roll or your wrists a roll. We will give them a nice break as we do a little bit of core from our back up next. So we're bringing it over, bringing it a little bit more closer towards our stricter Pilates. So take a second, grab a sip, and then we're gonna transition on over to our backs. Whew. So bringing it on around, bring it over. All right, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movements for us. We're gonna do 8 for this one. So we'll start with a crunch, we'll do 8. We'll do a bicycle for 8 for each direction. We'll do our Pilates double leg stretch for 8 leg lowers, and then an 8 count glute bridge hold. We'll take a little break and start it back over. So first one, our crunch, bringing it on down, either feet planted or up at that tabletop position. Fingertips behind those ears. We're gonna try and keep it as little rest as possible, but if you need a little bit more, feel free to take a second in between, take a breather, take a stretch. Fingertips behind those ears. We've got 8 crunches, head and shoulders lift. We activate that core and we lower back down for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. When you finish that one, we're at that tabletop position. Those knees are up at that 90 degrees, whether they were down or up for this last one. They're here now. Fingertips still behind the ears. 8 total, nice and slow and controlled bicycle or crisscross crunches. So one leg goes out long, other elbow towards that knee, and then switching. So nice and controlled here. Keep it lower and longer for a little bit more of a challenge. We've got 8 total for each direction. So I've got 4 more here. When you finish those 8, go ahead and pull those knees in towards the chest. To keep that challenge, you can keep the head and shoulders lifted. To relax a little bit, you can lower. Our next 2 are going to be a lot of work for that lower core, so keep that lower back safe. Our inhale is going to be our double leg stretch out nice and long. Exhale, circles us back in. Here's 1, taking it for 8. Here we go. 2, 3, nice. Again, as always, if you're a little bit off for me, that's okay. Keep moving at your own pace. 4, 5, 6, and if you need a little easier, taking those feet up towards the ceiling a little bit further. I just lost count. I think that was 7. I think that was 8. If it wasn't, I'll do one more for good measure. And then we're going to take those feet up towards the ceiling. All right, we've got our leg lowers next. So hands can be out wide or they can be under those hips. Here we go. We've got 8, as low as you can, keeping that lower back nice and safe and solid against the floor or with that regular arch in the lower back. We don't want it to be moving around as we lower and lift those legs. Keeping your count there for our 8. I think I'm on 3. Talking and counting at the same time is not one of my talents. Nice. Make sure you're breathing here. I've got 3 more. When you finish those, bend the knees, plant the feet. We're in a glute bridge hold. So if you want a little break, you can just get set up until I tell you to come up. If you want that little extra challenge, as soon as you finish those, you can take it right into that glute bridge. Finishing off, taking your time. Nice. Get those last couple in for those 8 leg lowers. And then go ahead, bend those knees, plant those feet. Here we go. We're all taking it up into that glute bridge hold here. Squeezing through the glutes, activating through the core, through the legs, pressing the whole bottom of the foot into the ground. We're here for a 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and lower down, nice and easy. We're gonna do that one more time through. Here we go, you guys. We've got our crunches first. Again, knees bent, feet planted a little easier, knees up at that tabletop, a little bit more challenging. We've got 8, go ahead at your own pace. Here we go. Don't forget to breathe. That nice big exhale brings us up off the floor. And as always, we're keeping that chin a tennis ball size space away from the chest. When you finish those, keep those knees at that tabletop position. Keep those fingertips behind the ears. We're going into our crisscross or our bicycle next. Here we go, 8 for each side. Opposite elbow to opposite knee. The lower and longer you get that long leg, the more challenging this will be for you. There's my 4, keep it going, keep it going. Again, if you're moving a little slower or faster, that's okay. When you finish that last one, go ahead and pull those knees in towards the chest. Awesome. All right, you guys, when you finish those, and take your time if you're still going, we've got our double leg stretch for 8. Here's our lower core work. Head and shoulders come up. We inhale to extend nice and long. A little higher is going to be a little easier. And then we pull back in. 8 of those. Here we go. Here we go. Use your breath. Keep your lower back safe. I know lots of core front work. Stay with me here. We're hitting that back and that lower body up next. When you finish those, take those feet up towards the ceiling. When you finish those, take those feet up towards the ceiling. So keep breathing, take your time, finish them out. Awesome. After that, feet are up. We've got our leg lowers. We've got 8. Hands can be under those hips so they can be out wide. Bringing them through their range of motion and back up, through their range of motion and back up. Looking good. Don't forget to breathe. Keep your lower back nice and strong and stable. You guys got this. We're almost there. We're almost there. Nice. Finish out those leg lowers. When you finish them, we've got that glute bridge hold. If you need a little break, you can just find the position and keep those hips low. If you want that extra challenge, when you finish it out, you can get right into that glute bridge. Nice. Keep breathing. Looking good. Awesome job, you guys. Finishing those out, taking your time to finish them up. Once again, if you want a little bit of a break here, last one, you can be right here. If you want more challenge, you can take it up into that glute bridge. All right, here we go, all together. Go ahead and press those hips up in that glute bridge if you weren't there already. Nice. Keep it squeezed here, keep it activated, keep that core active. So don't let it relax just because we're working the opposite side of the body. We're here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Go ahead and set those hips down. Take a recovery wherever you're going to feel good. Pull the knees in towards the chest. Rock the knees side to side. Little spinal twist. We've got a little bit more work, and then that's it. We are almost there, you guys. We've got just under 10 minutes left. Whew. Like I said, lots of core work today. Doing that kind of focus on that core, but making it a little flow. Whew. All righty. Fabulous. So grab a sip, take a stretch, and then we are going to meet in our child's pose. That'll be our next destination, which will feel good for that lower back after that core work. All right. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of work that focuses on the upper and lower back in our Lat Pull Superman. We've also got a modified side plank and a leg extension. So working a little bit of core while we work those hips and the glutes as well. So starting off in that child's pose, we're going to take this into our Cobra next. So I'm going to keep my knees kind of under my hips. Just so that I'm ready to transition there. But as always, you can adjust them as we make that move. Take one nice deep breath here with that exhale. I want you to really think about relaxing the lower back, letting it almost kind of round out here. Nice. With that next inhale, let's press it forward for our Cobra. So knees come underneath those hips come down. As always, baby Cobra is fabulous here as well. Taking that nice stretch through the front side body, feeling a little bit maybe in that lower back. Awesome. From here, with this next exhale, we're just going to lower down to the mat. So if you need to shift a little bit backwards, take that little scooch backwards, and then lower down to the mat. From there, go ahead and extend those arms out nice and long. We're going to do 4 lat pull Superman. So that first movement is our lift, Superman up. Then we're going to do that lat pull down range of motion. Elbows in towards the side, squeeze the shoulder blades together, extend back out, and then lower down. We've got 3 more of those if you did that first one with me, or 4 if you were watching. So keeping it moving right like that, pulling those shoulder blades together when you pull the elbows in, working the lower back, but also activating through the lats, through the upper back, through those rhomboids. Nice. When you finish that 4th, go ahead and just take 1 second there. Take a little break. All right, nice. So I'm going to plant my left elbow kind of right in front of my chest and in the same direction as the short side of my mat, because I'm then going to turn onto my side. We're going to bring it up to our modified side plank. So I'm bending my bottom knee, my left knee, and then I'm going to lift those hips. So I'm in that modified side plank. This is going to give us some stability rather than our full side plank, because we're going to do some leg lift. So top leg, we're going to take it for a lift and lower. So pressing it up towards the ceiling, pulling those toes in towards the shin, and then back down. So that's why my bottom knee is planted as opposed to that full side plank. We've got then that lift and lower. So we want to keep our hips lifted nice and even. Just go ahead and keep it moving right like that for a couple of times here. So we're working that core to stay in that side plank. We're working those hips, those glutes for that leg lift. We're here for 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, set it down, bring it down on those hips, and then back to center. We've got 4 more of those Supermans with our lat pulls. So making your adjustment, arms are out long. Here we go. We've got that lift, in, out, and down. Keep moving at your own pace. Keep moving at your own pace. We got 4 of them. Nice. When you finish those 4, we're going to take it on over to that other side. So opposite arm comes in front. We're planting that elbow, turning the hips to that second side, bending that bottom knee, pressing it up into that side plank. And then we've got that lift and lower, keeping it going right like that. That modified side plank, bottom leg down, lift and lower with the top. Keep those hips nice and even, nice and high. And around that elbow to give those wrists a little bit of a break. Awesome work, awesome work. Nice. Don't forget to breathe there. Keep it strong. We're here for another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fabulous. Set those hips down, set that leg down, bring it back over to center. We've got another set. Superman to lat pull. Give me 4 more of them, 4 more of them. Here we go. Taking it at your own pace. We're almost there, you guys. Getting that work for the back, work for the core, work for the hips. Awesome work today, you guys. How many times can I say work? Right in a row. Nice. When you finish those 4, we're back to that first side. We're going to do those leg lifts, and then when we finish them, we're going to take it into a side plank hold. So we're going to start in that modified side plank again, rolling it onto that first hip, bending that bottom knee, pressing up so that we're in that modified plank, top arm up, and we've got that lift and lower first. Rather than coming back through center this final time, we're going to take it right up into our side plank for a little hold to finish off this side. But we're in this leg lift for another 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you can stay right here. You can take that bottom leg out long. You can take that top leg up for that extra little challenge. Wherever you need to be for that side plank, we're here for about 10 seconds. About 10 seconds. Get those hips nice and high. Don't forget to breathe. We're here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fabulous. Send those hips down to the mat. We're bringing it through center. Final time with those Superman to lat pulls. Final time here. Last one, or last 4, I suppose. Awesome work, you guys. Nicely done, nicely done. When you finish that 4th, same thing on that second side. This is it. Second side, we're bringing it over. Again, that modification first. Top arm lifts, top leg lifts. Getting it going for that second side. Fabulous, fabulous. Way to work. Looking good, looking good. Awesome job, you guys. We're almost there. We're in this leg lift for another 4, 3, 2, 1. Now go ahead and make that transition to your side plank. You can stay right where you are. You can extend that bottom leg. And if you're extending that bottom leg for a little extra challenge, you can lift that top leg and find that little hold. Nice. We got about 10 more seconds wherever you are. Looking good. We're almost there. We're almost there. Keep breathing. Awesome work, you guys. We got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, set those hips down. Roll back over onto your stomach, onto your stomach. This time, rather than that Superman lat pull, it's taken into a Cobra or baby Cobra. So nice little stretch there. Whew. Excellent work. All right, go ahead and activate the core. Curl the toes under. Press the hips up and back, down dog. Little stretch for the lower body. 2 options. Hands can go backwards towards the feet, or feet can go forwards towards the hands. Find our forward fold, kind of relax the spine down. Maybe let the head and neck relax and release a little bit. Let the lower back round out a little bit here. Give it that kind of release from that last set of exercises. Nice and slow and controlled. Let's go ahead and roll it on up, nice and easy, to our extended mountain. When you get to the top, arms come up overhead. Nice big stretch long away from center. Lateral stretch, right hand down, left arm up. Through center, same thing, second side. Up to center, our stretch for the chest. Bring the arms down and around. You can interlace or press towards each other. And go ahead and release. One nice deep breath. Inhale takes us up. Palms meet up overhead. And we pull the hands down to heart center. Thank you so much for joining me on this Wednesday evening. I love having you guys here. I hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday, great rest of your week. The light in me honors the light in you. Bowing, as we say, namaste. Whew. All right, thanks, guys.